In this video, we're going to talk about 3 mistakes that way too many people make when it comes to concealed carry. That's coming up on Survival on Purpose. Welcome back to Survival on Purpose. My name is Brian. Thanks for joining me. So let me start this video right off the bat with saying, just as I said in my very first introductory video 3 years ago now, I'm not an expert. I'm not a firearms expert. I'm not a handgun expert. I'm not a self-defense expert. I've never been in the military or in law enforcement. I just approached this subject of concealed carry and firearms carry like I do every other subject from just an ordinary, everyday guy standpoint. I'm just somebody who has actually carried a firearm for a lot of years, but I am absolutely not an instructor, not any kind of a professional. So take this with a grain of salt. This is just my opinion and based upon my experience. So this video is going to be about 3 mistakes I think that a lot of people make when it comes to concealed carry. But before we get into what the 3 mistakes are, there's a couple of points I do want to cover first. First of all, if you decide to carry a firearm on you for self-defense, to protect yourself and your family, highly encourage you to get some training, safety training at a minimum. You can go further than that and get some training about tactical type training and whatnot. But just make sure that you not only get training, but that you're willing to devote the time and the investment in ammunition and time and range time to practice and make sure you're proficient with your firearm. The second thing is, your choice of a firearm is just that, your choice. There's a lot of different choices. What works really well for me may not work at all for you. I'm a Glock guy. I'm used to them. I think they work very well. They work for me. Maybe not for you. I'm not talking down about any other firearm. I like them all, man. If it's a gun or a knife, I like it. Okay, so get that out of the way. Now, in my opinion, one of the first mistakes that I see so many people make, people that I know that come to me and say, hey man, look, I got my new pistol, check this out. I say, where's your holster? And they got like an Uncle Mike's neoprene holster sleeve or something really cheesy. It amazes me that, I understand stuff costs money, but you're going to spend $300 to $400 to $500 and up for a pistol, and then you want to buy a $20 holster for it. You have to understand, I guess I look at concealed carry is a system. It's not just a pistol, it's a whole system. So the first part of that system, the absolute foundation, is your holster. Now, I personally use an inside the waistband holster, and I personally think that the absolute best inside the waistband holster that I have ever used is the Hog holsters. He calls it a puller inside the waistband holster. And I'll show you this one. Just so we're safe here. Look. She's empty, okay? No mag. Very, very thin Kydex. It uses the Ulti-Clip, which I like the Ulti-Clip. I think it's one of the best retention systems on the market. I like it a lot better than the kind that go around your belt. It's easier to take on and off. It just plain works. I've not had a single issue with retention on these holsters ever. I like it because it is very thin. It doesn't take up any more room, so it just maximizes the concealability of whatever firearm you've got it in. Very comfortable. You don't have to worry about it sweating and getting ruined or whatever. It's Kydex. The Ulti-Clip clips right on your pants. It will go on a belt if it's not too thick. Works really great. Here it is. Here's another version of the same Hog holsters for my Glock 23, which is a much larger pistol. But anyway, first mistake, just buy a good holster. I personally absolutely 100% unequivocally recommend the Hog holsters. I think they're excellent holsters. And if you go to their website, by the way, you'll see a video of me demoing the holster. They actually contracted with me to make that video in order to help people that aren't familiar with the Ulti-Clip and how to use this thing. So if you see that, don't think that I'm pushing these things because I've got a stake in the company, because I don't. I just think they're really good. This is the only holster I use and have used for a last year or two. So that's the first mistake I think people make. Just get a good holster. It is a little money, but that's part of the deal, The second mistake I see far too many people make is not using a dedicated gun belt. What I mean by that is there are a lot of belts on the market that are stiffened in order to help support the weight of a gun, so that they don't drag your pants down, they don't sag. They just, not only is it safer, it's also a lot more comfortable. Now, if you decide to carry, you're going to have to be willing to put up with a little bit of discomfort. And once I accepted the fact that, this is not going to feel like I got a pair of sweatpants on all the time. You get used to it, and it's just part of life. So I do have a couple of choices in belts I want to show you. This is the Trackline ratchet belt. This is in my everyday carry belt rotation. What I like about this one is it's got these ratchets on it, and basically you just push it in and you're good to go. And It does a good job of supporting the pistol. It's not super heavy duty, but it's going to do a good job for you. It has for me anyway, and I've been wearing this one for, gosh, at least a year. So that is one of my #1 recommendations. I have a lot of experience with it, does a great job, and I've reviewed this one in the past. The second belt that I really like a lot is from the folks at Click Belt, and this is their 2-ply tactical belt. This is the one with a Riggers D-ring buckle on it. The one I have been using for several months is the standard Trackline 2-ply tactical belt. It's actually a little bit stiffer than this one even, but it's 2 plies. It's got very nice stiffness to it. Does a great job of supporting a concealed carry pistol. Finally, another one that I have experience with, and it's from the folks at Bull Belt. That's made in the USA, as is the Click Belt, and it's the Bull Belt. I reviewed this also, and it's a synthetic material that just absolutely lasts forever. It's got a lot of stiffness to it. You can see just a pretty good bit of stiffness. This one has also been worn a whole lot. A very good experience with it. So, and again, I did a video on this one also. Okay, so that's the second mistake. Basically, make sure you got a good belt designed for concealed carry. We just showed you three good choices. I'm sure there are a lot of great choices out there. These are just 3 that I have personal experience with and I can vouch for. So that's the second mistake. The third mistake, I think, is just not, this is going to maybe common sense, but just not dressing appropriately for concealed carry. You just have to basically come to terms with the fact that if you're going to carry a pistol, you're going to have to adjust your wardrobe accordingly. You may not be able to wear that kind of tight, really cool concert t-shirt or other t-shirt. There's a couple of different options. I'll talk about that and we'll wrap this up. But that's basically the third mistake, is that just not dressing appropriately. So, because what you don't, if you're going to carry concealed, the whole purpose is that your firearm is concealed. I know there are a lot of municipalities and areas where if it's not concealed, then you can be fined or you can be arrested. So let me pan you down the old waistline again, and we'll talk about a couple options there, and we'll wrap this thing up. Okay, so here I am with just a loose fitting t-shirt, kind of loose, and I'm wearing a pistol here. This is a 43, and you really can't see it, but if I bend over, you can kind of see it sort of prints right here. You know, and that is definitely something to think about. That's why I usually wear a different kind of shirt. Okay, so one option you have is to buy a dedicated shirt that's kind of designed for concealed carry. This is a True Spec camp shirt. It's a cool shirt. I like it a lot, and it's kind of got designed with concealed carry in mind. First of all, it's got a pattern on it. Just in my experience, just from checking in the mirror, you know, when I get dressed, I look in the mirror and make sure I'm not printing, which basically means that your firearm's not showing through your clothing. And I've noticed that anything with a pattern on it, it just seems to do a better job of breaking any humps and stuff up, any bulges or things that do poke out up, rather than a solid shirt. So pattern shirts, just kind of a simple little tip that you can use to kind of help conceal your firearm. But this particular shirt is designed with concealed carry in mind, because it's got a flat, straight hem on the bottom, so it's designed to be worn untucked. It doesn't look too bad. And then instead of buttons here, it's got snaps. So if you did need to get into if you had to access your weapon very quickly, you can just rip it open, and there you are. So it's designed to come open really quickly. This shirt's around 50 bucks, so may not be for everybody, but this is definitely one option. Another option is just a regular old shirt, that button shirt, anything you can hang out. I like flannel, especially kind of in the fall, because it's a little heavier. It does a little better job of not printing as much, and it's usually got a pattern on it, which helps. And but you just reach back here and get your firearm. Okay, so that was my absolutely unprofessional take on 3 mistakes that I see a lot of people make when it comes to concealed carry. Again, I am certainly not an expert. I'm sure there's a lot more stuff that I didn't cover that I could have. At the end of the day, the main point to get across is, if you make the decision to carry a firearm, in order to do so responsibly, safely, and effectively, it's probably going to require that you think about more than just grabbing a pistol. You need to think about the whole entire system, which at a minimum, in my opinion, it consists of a holster, a good belt, and your clothing. Please don't neglect your training or your practice, and stay safe out there. I hope this has been helpful. As always, thanks for watching Survival on Purpose. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for clicking that thumbs up, for sharing this video with all your friends. Thank you so much for doing all your Amazon shopping through the Survival on Purpose links. I really appreciate your support. Once again, my name is Brian. You're watching Survival on Purpose. Remember, survival is not an accident, so be prepared. I'll see you next time.